my channel, EKC People Suck. One thing I've done on this channel from time to time is use my ability to hopefully bring some understanding, and by offering a translation for those who are extremely entitled and privileged. I myself, having found myself on that side of the coin a few times in my life, I feel like I have this unique ability to understand where they're coming from. And I would like to share this understanding with anyone who cares to listen. Because maybe we've all just been a little bit too hard on Lauren Mathias. Maybe she's a victim here too. I don't know. But let me just break it down for you and really explain to you what's truly going on inside that brain of hers, in my opinion. So I'm going to start this by first reading some declarations regarding the TRO that she filed against her quote-unquote stalker, Christina. We're going to start at number 19. Okay? Because this has been something that's been brought up quite a bit. On April 15, 2025, I was confronted by a friend of Christina's named Janess at the same courthouse. This incident is on film. But then we skip down to number 30, and Lauren says, the first clip of my voice was part of the conversation we had in the courthouse on April 9th, 2025, despite the courthouse having a no recording policy. I don't know why everyone has to put the fear of God into other people by asking them questions about if what they heard was true or not, or if they could explain something that, they heard as a rumor, or why did you do this thing to me, or whatever. I mean, you don't get to ask those questions without having everything recorded for prosperity. Okay, this next part, number 32. On July 13th, she posted a video with a photo of me, which is a well-known photo, with a clown emoji over my face, once again trying to get people to identify who I am to come after me. Exhibit 11, clown. This is serious, guys. I mean, nobody knew that about Lauren. No one knew that. There was private. There was something personal that she shared with only her husband. I mean, they have their clown weekends. Usually when he's locked up in the garage in this cage and she's just riding around him on a unicycle with a horn. But I mean, that's their thing. That's their thing to do. It's none of our business. We don't need to know about it. And Christina never should have exposed that. Oh, for those of you suggesting that she'd make a better mime than a clown, fuck you. Okay, moving on to number 33. On July 14, 2025, I was on an episode of Mormon Stories podcast, and Christina wrote in the comments with eye emojis in an effort to let people know she was watching. It's like she knows no boundaries anymore. This was a public podcast, aired, streamed, whatever, publicly, to the public. People could comment publicly. I mean, she just crossed way too many lines there. But more importantly, what if she never even posted the eyes? What if she posted the brain emoji instead? Yeah, right? Number 35. On July 23rd, 2023, I was in Boise, Idaho, working, reporting at the Brian Kohlberger sentencing. Even that was Christina's fault. Number 37. I asked Lindsay if the seat was available, and a woman named Lori, also one of Christina's friends, began screaming at me to not talk to Lindsay because I had previously sent her a cease and desist. I simply ignored and walked away. I mean, it was just a cease and desist over one thing. She didn't have to flip out like that. All she had to do was just stop talking about the thing that Lauren wanted her to stop talking about. Other than that, she could talk to Lauren, And besides that, Lauren didn't send the cease and desist to herself. So Lauren could talk to her all she wanted. All that chick had to do was just cease and desist whatever it was that was bothering Laura. Obviously, Lauren wanted the seat. So she was given permission to speak to Lauren about the seat. She didn't have to cease and desist the seat. Number 40. We sat outside the restaurant. We're enjoying our dinner when I noticed Janess was filming me from outside of the restaurant's property. I mean, who films from outside of the property on another property, like a distance away? I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, Lauren didn't know what kind of angle she was getting or anything from that far away, or like what kind of filter she was using. Why would she not just film right there in the same room? Number 41. I turned on my camera for safety, and shortly after that, Lori and Sarah came up to my dinner table confronting me. Here we go with the confrontation again. I mean, I mean, this was not comfortable for Lauren. This felt like a threat. Like, if she didn't answer questions or explain herself, then people might not like her and might talk about her. Why can't people just listen to rumors and just talk shit about each other, like away from like the confrontation space or whatever? And then we jump down to number 44. After leaving the restaurant, they walked to the restaurant across and sat there waiting for us to leave the restaurant we were eating at. I mean, who does that? Who watches and stalks and waits for someone to leave from a greater distance away from where they started? You're giving yourself more time to chase that person and to follow them and to not make any mistakes and follow like the wrong person. So you're more determined than ever to stalk this woman. And plus, again, what kind of filter are you even using? Because that just seems like a threat, especially if it's not a flattering filter or whatever, because now you just want to like harm. Do you want her to look fat or old or sunburnt, really? Number 56, Christina questioned his credentials and spoke about calling UNLV, where he is an adjunct professor, to inquire about whether or not he is an adjunct professor. She's questioning the brilliance of Dr. John. And here's where things get diabolical. Number 60, she continues to share my voice, my photos, and use search engine optimization on these platforms. So if you look at my name, her videos come up. How much of a psycho do you have to be to actually learn like these platforms, like SEO features and like the tagging process and such? And I mean, only a crazy person does that. Number 66, my husband's blood pressure is far higher than ever, and doctors are concerned about his health. He is not sleeping due to fear and anxiety as well. John and Lauren were first under the impression that John's health problems were caused by his obesity and his poor diet habits and how he doesn't exercise. But it turns out they were wrong. Like, you can be a fat healthy, but not if you know Christina. You can't. Number 72. Every day it feels like the walls are closing in and there's no escape from these terrifying and obsessive, unrelenting attacks on us, our reputation, and our work, which is kind of unfamiliar territory for Lauren because usually it's her own guilty conscience that causes that. Number 74. I cannot continue to live in fear every single day, wondering what will happen next. She can't go through life not knowing what's going to happen. Like, no, who can do that? No, everyone has to check in with her and tell her exactly what they're going to be doing that day. And life has to tell her. And she also wants the lotto numbers, but you can send those to her through me, okay? Email's in the channel description. 80. I need to be able to show up to work and work events without being fearful of my safety and confrontation. Every confrontation presents an opportunity for Lauren to come out of Lauren. Can you think of anything that would make Lauren more fearful than that? Next, we're going to be reading from Lauren's second declaration. Number 13. In one video, she sang lyrics stating, "Whoops, you messed up. Ran around and then you got caught. Whoops, you messed up. Now you're crying about what you lost." See, Lauren knows she was singing that. She knows her singing voice. And singing it's even worse than just simply lip syncing it, right? Number 15. In addition, a friend of hers commented on the post, quote, "Time to tell the real story," to which respondent replied, "As you wish." There's only one thing people wish from Lauren, and it's not anything Christina has to offer. It's what being a mime has to offer. Number 27. In the first of these posts, she appeared walking in a field while mouthing along to an audio stating, quote, "And don't come over here lying on me because I'm going to tell you what you said, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike said. Don't lie on me. That is my biggest pet peeve. Do not lie on me." I mean, clearly that was about Lauren. What other liar she taught? Number 31 we have, the portion the respondent chose to perform stated, quote, "Because nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. They want me to go eat some worms. I hope you're offended. And drag my name through the mud, through the dirt. But I'm going to make you eat your words." Which can only be interpreted as a threat to Lauren because she's severely allergic to her words. And then we have 34. In light of her established pattern of targeting me through photographs, recordings, and videos, her close proximity with a recording device was extremely threatening and placed me in genuine fear for my safety. The wrong filter looks even worse on close-up. Then we have number 35. The respondent only departed after noticing that my producer, Grayson Yore, was on the phone. At that time, Grayson was speaking with an officer from the Aurora Police Department. And that was not at all because Lauren wasn't allowed to call them anymore that week. That was not it. Next, we have the declaration of Dr. John. Here he states, since April 2025, I personally observed the ongoing harassment and stalking directed at my wife, Lauren, both as her spouse and as a licensed psychologist. He's her husband. He shouldn't have to be her licensed psychologist, but he clearly just stated that that's what he was. I hope he did a good job. Moving on, Dr. John states, the day I will never forget is July 7, 2025. At approximately 5 o'clock in the morning, I woke up to Lauren rocking in our bed in visible distress. She was holding her legs tightly against her chest in the fetal position as she rocked back and forth on the bed. She was experiencing a severe panic attack, and she told me that she did not want to live. That moment was devastating for me as her husband and deeply alarming as a clinician who understands the seriousness of such statements. Never once in the 10 years that I've known Lauren has she ever expressed or considered such thoughts. I was devastated and concerned by this extreme change in her behavior. That had to have been devastating as her husband to watch, but I mean, at least he was a clinical psychologist. So, I mean, he was able to convince her to go to the hospital and get help and to help her get checked in and to seek the care that she required, thus saving her life. So, you know, she was very lucky to have him there to do all that, right? Here's the worst part of all of this, though, for real. So, towards the end here, Dr. John says, there's no indication based upon past and current behaviors that the stalking and harassment will cease with or without the stalking injunction. Dr. John's being forced to waste his time on these court proceedings and to insist upon the court to waste the court's time on these court proceedings since they're not going to make a difference according to Dr. John's expert opinion here. I mean, think of all the wonderful things he could be doing in the world of psychology. Surely there's a group of women somewhere who need to have their histrionics mansplained to them, right? The fact that women have to miss out on that is, in fact, the real hidden true crime here. Now, over in Lauren's response to objections, Lauren states, personal grievances between former friends do not constitute matters of public concern that warrant First Amendment protection when used as weapons for harassment. That's why reality TV just doesn't stay a thing. Then she says, respondent cannot transform a private vendetta into protected public discourse simply by posting it online, unlike legitimate public interest speech such as consumer warning about dangerous products, exposing public corruption, discussing community safety issues, or political or policy commentary, which is exactly why no one gave a shit about Brad or his wife. Anyways, this is the end of part 1. I do plan to continue with this translation for you all, so thanks for watching. Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank DC, Fayette, Mr. Blackwolf, Jill B, Sam, channel has been deleted, Sally Godfrey, channel has been deleted, Randa Smith, Estella Havisham, Rena Rue, Sean Coffey, Flying Mom Laura, Virillion, Jen Gerard, and Poodlerific. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching.